Welcome to this edition of the Erica Edwards Show here on Business Takeout. This is the soul of business. And today we have another special guest because all of our guests are special. We have Miss Marina, aka Riri. She is Marina Phillips of Bébé Station. We were just talking about the accents on the E before we.
Wait.
Yes, we were talking about that. And I am going to tell you just a little bit about Marina because she is in a field that is completely unknown to me. And I'm sure to many of you unknown. But as we explore the different entrepreneurs and aspects of business, especially Black business, I'm so pleased to present to you a woman who has started a vending machine business. So welcome, Marina.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I have to give a shout out from the start to Banki, who helped arrange all of this as well. And to you too, Erica, for giving me the opportunity to come speak to your crowd and hopefully my crowd and just everybody that wants to listen and learn from us.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate your time because I know that all entrepreneurs are super busy. If you factor in having any kind of life, like, I don't know, children or anything, starts to get wild. So I appreciate you being here today, especially with everything taking off as it is for you. So we will start at the beginning. Marina Phillips is a business owner here in the great GTA. And she has a vending machine business. Now, as I was stalking through her socials, I did see her have a video near a few months ago about pivoting. And as we all know, with COVID and all the things that have happened this year, that's the big word is pivot, is switching our businesses to work during this time. And I was having a conversation earlier today with about some businesses that have really gone from very little to a lot because of COVID. And of course, all the businesses who the reverse has happened. Mm-hmm. But Marina has shifted because originally it was, well, you know what, forget me. Let's have Marina tell you how this went. So Marina, introduce yourself yet again and tell us how you started. Gotcha. And what it looks like now.
Okay, so thank you very much again. So Marina, people know me as Riri, depending on who you know and how long you've known me. I was very fortunate, maybe about 7 to 7 years ago. I had my son and I was nursing my son and I was out, my husband and I have always been very social people, love to go out to different festivals and events. And one thing I noticed glaringly obvious was that even though some places are billed as family-friendly events, family-friendly venues, we welcome families of all types, there was nowhere for me to change or feed my son that was comfortable. Meaning, I'd gone to a couple sporting venues and they're like, well, you can use the family bathroom. Excuse you? And it just seemed that for a market, which is the mother market, parent market, that we all know that moms spend most of the money, most of the decision-making when it comes to families, they weren't catering to us. So,
you just didn't want to go like in the bathroom and feed your kid?
I mean, because, when I smelled the other person's kids' dirty diapers and I thought, does my son want eau de milk with, a sprinkling of poo? No, thank you, right?
I just find it so outrageous that people look at mothers and say to them, you could just go in the bathroom and feed your child.
And forget just outrageous that it's, back then it was 2013, just the fact that we've got to this stage that it's still a discussion, that it's not simply, hey, moms, dads, you need to change your kids' diapers, or we've got changing areas in the bathroom, or we've got a separate room for that. And moms, you want to nurse or feed? Because not all moms are nursing, but there's a space. So I said to my hubby, I said, these are the moments where if it's not there, let me build it. So, labor of love, I used to get tents from people who did events. And then eventually I said, let me just do this on my own. So I bought my own tents. And I said, I want to create a space where moms feel empowered. So they've taken the time to get dressed, come out, maybe 1, 2, 3 children, doesn't even matter, and their partner, and they're coming out to an event. They need a space to safely kind of just come inside out of the rain or the sun and just nurse their child calmly and peacefully. And then if they needed to change diapers, we've all forgotten a diaper. Any parent can attest to the fact that you've maybe forgotten a diaper or wipe something. Provide all that for free for the parents, because my feeling is that I want to honor parents. I want to give you guys the respect. You guys created a whole human and you're coming outside with this whole human. Let me make it so easy for you, because when parents stay at events longer, what happens? Well, then they spend more money. So, it took a little bit of time for people. Some people got it automatically. Some promoters that I worked with, or event organizers or event producers, they got it. They were like, you know what? We love it. Let's book you. We're good. I've been very, very fortunate. I've done stuff for the city of Niagara Falls, Pelham, Ajax, Aurelia, Mariposa Folk Festival, Burlington. Like, I've been so blessed. But of course, what happened is COVID came. And all of a sudden, my big spring, summer of events went like this. And I had two options. It's almost like, okay, well, let's wait and see if maybe they'll change the rules by summertime, or let's see, if by fall we'll be able to have events. And it wasn't looking good. I mean, we all remember right after March break, it wasn't looking good. And a lot of the events that I had lined up, because I had my summer, like literally June, July, August, September booked. In my business plan, I had a little to-do for 2021. But wouldn't it be cool to have a vending machine in the malls, or again, in community centers or areas where there's a lot of families, that if I forgot a diaper, a wipe, I need some Polysporin, a Band-Aid, instead of having to stand up in line at, the Walmarts or the Shoppers or the Dollaramas, I can just go, tap, tap, here's the product, I'm good. So I tried it, as always, and I was very fortunate again to meet with a supplier of vending machines, a Black gentleman, and he was like, I get your vision, I see what you're doing, I'm here, I'm ready, let's do this. And I was very, very fortunate to be able to put my first vending machine in the workaround on the Danforth, which is a co-working and childcare space. And I've got a couple other things in the works that hopefully will happen this month. I can't talk about it yet, but hopefully this month that people will be able to see the vending machines out there as well. So it's been a very interesting pivot, but it's just still on brand, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
That is amazing. So it started out, so to clarify, so we have Bebe Station, and we'll talk a little bit about the name. Okay. But it started out as actually a physical space, a tent that you would have, like almost like a pop-up, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So they weren't in permanent places, but it was a pop-up that was at different events or places there would be a lot of family. And so for you, necessity was the mother invention. 100%. You, as a parent, saw a need that wasn't being filled, and you said, well, I'll fill it. That's how most great businesses start, is by identifying a need and then filling that need. But there was something that you said that really struck me. And again, as I interview more and more entrepreneurs, it is surprising how much they give and how much they do that really doesn't seem almost business oriented. It seems more humanity oriented. And you said something about providing things for free.
Oh yeah. So it's funny, when I first started, people like, so how does this work? Are you charging parents to use the lounge? Are you charging them for a diaper or a wipe? And I said, no, why would I do that? Again, we're always in such a have to charge. I mean, think about, I don't know if you have kids, but anybody watching has kids, you have a baby shower, then you have a whole bunch of things on the list that you want to have. And then what happens? You use maybe a third of everything that you've gotten as a gift, because we realize that we don't need everything. We need a lot of diapers, we need a lot of wipes, we need a lot of blankets. And it was kind of almost like a subconscious, let's just give this out to parents for free. Yes, I may be losing money, but it's not about the money. It's about ensuring that parents feel, they don't feel stressed when they go out. So that stress of, oh my goodness, I don't have a diaper. I got you. What size do you need? Size 3, size 4, size 5? Or, oh, you need to warm up your baby's bottle? here, I've got, a bottle warmer for you. Oh, here's a wipe. And all of a sudden I saw like a load was lifted off of parents because they realized, oh my goodness, I don't have to go back to the car and leave, because we all know when we go back to the car, we're going home.
It's a wrap.
Right? And can I come back? Of course you can. Is it okay if I stay here for 45 minutes? Not a problem. And all of a sudden now it became regular for parents to know, okay, this is a service that this event has provided for us, and I want to come back to this event again. And I've actually, funny enough, I've had repeat customers that they go onto the website to see, hey, are you going to be at this event or that event? And some of them I've had moms that had just had a baby, they come back pregnant. So new toddler and pregnant, or they were pregnant when I saw them, they're like, we'll use this next year. And, and there they come. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see.
That, and there's something else that you said, and I think this really speaks to, well, it's not as new of a phenomenon as people would like to say, but women in business, having more and more women in the marketplace, in the business place, because again, you identified a need as a parent,
right.
Executed it as a businesswoman, but also understanding, and you said something right at the beginning, and I'm not sure if you guys at home caught it, but you said the longer the parents stay and the more comfortable they are, the better it is for the event, the better it is for the business.
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of times the solutions that events and businesses have had is to exclude the children altogether. So to kind of discourage you from bringing them, right. Or, kind of marketing it as an adult only event. Or even sometimes I myself with children have been to events that are kind of for children and then wondered a little bit about the accommodations because it wasn't very, accommodating.
Exactly.
So that is very interesting that as a parent, you identified a need, filled it as a businesswoman, and now are actually helping other businesses make money, retain clientele, keep the events going by making people comfortable with their children. That is just a completely new train of thought for so many. And no wonder Bébé Station has had and found success, because it really does make sense. And
yeah. Sorry to cut you there. I was going to say, and it's one of those things that it's so logical that it's crazy that people aren't doing it. And I'll take it one step further. If here's a business idea for somebody, I mean, I don't think I have time, but people also forget that at outdoor festivals, a lot of people that have children that are differently abled. Well, if somebody's in a wheelchair, it doesn't matter if the porta potty can fit a wheelchair. Have you ever tried to maneuver in a porta potty? So there's a whole subsection of people that are still not being catered to. I mean, I've been fortunate. I've had some parents that maybe have a younger child that I say to them, do you want to come in and you can change them on the table if they're in a wheelchair? But when you think of, teenagers, like young adults, teenagers, and maybe even, adults, where they come out, they want to enjoy events as well. Where are they going to change? You know what I mean? Where are they going to use facilities? Because we're not as accessible, friendly as we want to be. So that's something else to think about. I mean, I do my part, but there's such a big need as well.
That is amazing. So I saw one of your videos, Marina, where you talk about, vending machines, and basically, and bless you for it, saying it is not easy. And not as a discouragement, but as full transparency. As we encourage other people to pursue their dreams and to pursue businesses, there needs to be that reality. And that's why we are so grateful to people like you who come and share the real deal and how it is and what goes on. And when you were saying, that the vending machine business is not easy, and we are going to loop back to the transition and how COVID just forced us all to do things that we weren't even ready, quote unquote, to do yet. But when you say the vending machine business is not easy, do you mean in terms of it being high maintenance or time consuming? What would you say is different about a vending machine business than, let's say, a store?
So a vending machine, so first of all, I'm still fresh in this business, and it's not just me selling chips and pop at the corner, at a community center where you have a lot of people coming through, so they want a snack, or at an office building. This is specialized. So it's specialized with diapers and wipes and, products, whether it be for eating and drinking for parents, families, moms, dads, kids. So as much as I'd like to think that things are going to fly off the shelf and everybody's going to want to buy it, no, because it's still a mindset change. And because it's still me, I have to schlep myself and reprogram the machine and refill the machine and wipe the machine down, things like that. Now, it's a great learning experience because I'm learning. And I always feel that if you know how to do something, then it's easier to train somebody to do it, and it helps in your business in the future. But right now, today, everything it's me. I have to go shopping for the products. How do I price it? Am I going to make money? And yeah, you're not going to get rich right away, just so everybody knows. But my long-term goal with it is that I can license this business. Right. And if somebody, in Montreal says, Marina, there's a couple of community centers or places that want this machine, I can sell the machine, I can license the Bébé Station name, here's some recommended products. And it's a business transaction. But it's not easy. And I can't lie. Sometimes I'm thinking, is this the right path? But then I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it is. It's the right path because there is a need. I'm filling a void. It's a legit need. It's going to work. I have to be a tiny bit patient, but I also have to not be scared to ask for what I want.
And I mean, I do love your machines. They're, bright and white, and I really just like the look of them. They're inviting. I love the picture on the side. That's very, very
my baby. It's my baby.
That's your baby?
Yeah. Yeah. That's when he was about 6 months. Yeah, 6 months old. Oh, don't worry. He's charging me for it. I've got to pay him for that. Don't worry. It's gonna come.
Good. I love that business in the family, but that's amazing. And I hope we can show that on air because the machines, and if we can't show it to there we go. So there's the vending machine, and it's bright, it's clean, and like you said, it's inviting. So that's and so okay, let's back up a little bit. Events. Now, for anybody out there, for any entrepreneurs that don't know, you can kind of let them know now about planning for live events, especially in a country like ours, Canada, where everything happens in 5 months right now. Summertime is it, especially if you're talking about outdoor events, anything to do. We cram everything here. We live a lot in 5 months in Canada. We do a year's worth of living in 5 months because winter's long. And you now, as you said, you had gone into 2020 with 2020 planned out, right?
100%. I had events. I actually had an event in February, then I had one in March, one in April, and then everything was going to start June, July, August, like every single weekend, booked. And, not just the Friday, it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, like booked, and then gone.
So can you share with the audience how long in advance you tend to book for these events? Like, how far in advance do you plan your calendar?
It totally depends. So we're in November now. So if this was a regular year, I'm not going to say average or normal because we're not there anymore. If it was an average year, by the end of November, I would have already had most of my repeat customers would have already reached out to me and say, okay, book this date for me, book that date for me. So I'll hold it for them. Sometimes I've had multiple, Canada Day. This year would have been the first year I would have had 4 events on one Canada Day. The most I've had was 3. So, genuinely, it could be a whole year in advance. And then I always leave spaces for events that I'm going to try and pitch and try and get that event, or, people that might ask me for last minute. But yeah, generally anywhere from a month to a whole year in advance.
A whole year. Yeah. Okay. So, budding entrepreneurs out there, keep that in mind, that when you are building up your business, when you are, looking forward and saying, if in April you're thinking about doing things in, March or June, it may happen, but your best bet is to, especially with outdoor events, is really look at the long-term, 1 year in advance, maybe attend the event that summer, make some links, and then work on being there for the following summer. Would you agree?
150%. And I'll even be so bold to say as well is you have to be bold. Closed mouths don't get fed. It's fascinating to me, and my friends will always laugh when I say this, but is it a hobby or is it a business? Because if it's a business, you're a salesperson. No matter how much you might say, I don't like sales, I don't do sales, I'm a marketer and I'm a this and I'm a that. Okay, fine. But guess what? If you can't sell your product, it can look the prettiest ever. Your website can be the best ever, but you're not making any money and there's no plan to grow. I've had, many phone calls where I was told unequivocally, no, we don't need this, but I'm like, but sir or ma'am, your event is family friendly. Well, no, they can just go in the corner. Okay, fine. But I didn't let that stop me. I waited, went to the event, saw how things were, sometimes took a couple pictures, then called back and said, hey, I noticed that, you know what? I saw quite a few moms and I spoke to some of the moms as well. Because, when you're a mom, you speak mom, right? Yeah. And, you speak parent, I should say, you speak parent. And, I'd say to them, how would you like it if, and I've had some of the moms and dads that have been in my lounges before say to me, I thought you were going to be there. The only reason I came out is because I thought that there would at least be something with so many people here. I thought that they would have had a Bébé Station lounge. And I said, please reach out to the organizers. Let them know that you want to see it. So to your point, it's that if you have a business, you can't just think about the immediate. So, okay, right now we're going into winter right now. Well, guess what? A lot of us are also thinking about spring. We're already in spring because our business needs, we have to address them now. We don't know, and especially since we don't know what's going to happen, but let's pretend that everything is going to be okay. And they're going to be doing some sort of modified events, as an example for, May. Well, that doesn't give us a lot of time to get ourselves organized. Like what's your business going to look like now post or as we live with COVID,
Right.
So it's always understanding you're a salesperson. You have to always be selling, always telling them why is it beneficial to have your product or your, or whatever you're bringing to the table and not stopping and always improving. And it's not easy. People only see our success stories. Like I'm sure, Erica, people say, oh, you do a show online. Okay, but what about all the times you tried and you might have failed or it didn't look right or things didn't go well and all the time we've all been through our technical difficulties. People only see, oh, well, you look good and it sounded good and you had the best people, or they see, oh, that person got a grant and oh, that person got so much money from stuff. Well, you don't know what I had to do. You don't know the nights I couldn't sleep, the nights that I was trying to make sure that I could pay my, my rent, my car payments, my insurance, the business funds, or think of it that COVID came and people who didn't qualify, we didn't qualify for anything. So now we're spending our own money to keep our business going. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that, it's not easy. So it's, if you're in it, you have to be in it, but you also have to be smart and strategic about saying, what is the point that I discover that this isn't making me any money or the business is not getting better? Is it time to recalibrate, pivot, restructure, stop it? There's no harm. There's no failure in stopping a business that's not working. The failure is in not trying to do the business.
Okay, she's dropping it, guys. I hope you're paying attention. I'm writing for you guys, but you need to bring pens to Soul of Business, because this is what we do here. Is the doers come to tell us, the wanters, and the people who are doing what they did to get over. And failure isn't stopping. Failure is not trying, and I love that. I'm writing it down. Not trying. And because we do have to get to your social aspect, and speaking to you, Marina, is so easy and so nice, and time is flying. I feel honestly this whole year, at first it kind of like did this weird like stutter start, and then it just flew by. Okay. And we're all sitting here. You said November, and I was about to say, Marina, we're not. Oh yeah, we are.
Right.
I don't even know. I can't even explain it. But 6.5 years you've been in this. 6.5 years. So when you talk about, in November, your reoccurring customers, calling about May, as she said, this is a buildup. So this was the first 2 years of being told no, of going to the event and showing them, yeah, you do need me. You thought you didn't, but you do. And I love what you said about, closed mouths don't get fed. A lot of, even I know a lot of artists, and they love to do their art and they hate selling. And that means then you are going to buy supplies, paint stuff, and keep it off. You have to open your mouth. Yeah. But something I did want to comment on, Marina, and I really appreciate it, and I will speak on behalf of the men out there, even though I am not one. Thank you for continually saying parents.
Yes.
And really not just talking about moms, but parents, men who are out there with their children, that, like you said, that panic, and it's mother or father, but when you're out there and realize you need a diaper, you need a space. If any of you out there with children, that at about, I don't know, I think anywhere between 4 and 8 months, they start flipping. Like every surface you put them down on, they try to roll away. And you need that space. And also too, sometimes being surrounded by other parents is calming in and of itself.
150%. And if I could interject to that too, I will be honest with you, the dads that come through my lounge, these men are professionals. And I say to their wives or their partners, you are amazing. And I feel good saying it, but then I'm realizing that, and I say to them, but you're a dad, you're a parent too. You help make this kid or these kids. But they've got the toddler here, and then they've got the newborn, and they're changing diapers and handing babies to the wives. And society would tell us that dads don't like to do stuff. I 100% unequivocally will say that dads are so involved, so knowledgeable, and they are willing to share their wealth of knowledge with both mothers and fathers. And I see it. It's a sense of community. I see the dads and the moms asking each other, oh, how old is your little one? How old is your little one? And it warms my heart because it's like, this is what parenting is supposed to be like. This is what being able to go out in a community with a village, you know what I mean? Even if it's not your personal village, but knowing that you're not going to be judged when you come into my lounge because you have to cluster feed your kids. Right. Or you're not going to be judged in my lounge if you as a dad, you may have forgotten the diaper bag in the car. It's okay, Dad. Don't worry about it. Here's the diaper. Please go ahead and change your kids. So you're 100% correct. The dads they've been already stepping up, but I'm very happy that they also see value in using my lounges as well.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you keep including them in every sentence. And when you do say moms, you back up and you're like, no, parents. And that's wonderful. And it's obviously reflective of your experience. So, of course, before we wrap up and you tell us where to find you, how to book you, how to get a vending machine in our spot.
Oh, girl.
And she's like, Lord, Erica, if they come again, I don't know. But right. Sorry, this is just kind of how it is. It's not about being prepared for success. Sometimes success just comes and it gets you and you have to run. You got to go with it. But you're the soul part of business. We all have things that really matter to us, causes, current situations that impact us as people, impact our business. Obviously, you're passionate about parenthood and the community that we feel being parents and having that shared experience of absolute madness of trying to bring a whole human being from baby to adult. Is there anything else? Is there any other topic or thing that really matters to you and lights you up, whether in a good way or maybe not the best way? And does it impact you personally or does it impact your business?
So I will I'll say that it impacts my business, but it impacts me. So 2 big things I'm very, very passionate about, children, but from the perspective of we need to protect the children. One thing that has made me a little bit ill, because I don't see any numbers or facts coming out about it as yet, is there's children that were going to school and that was where they were getting fed. That's where they were feeling secure. That's where they were not being hurt, for lack of a better way of saying it. Okay. And when we shut down, all I could think of is the kids that didn't have breakfast or lunch or maybe dinner, kids that were now holed up with the person or persons that weren't respecting them as children. I mean, I'm always against all types of abuse, 100%. But there's something about children because they're innocent. And somebody could fight me if you want. Children are innocent. There are no bad children. They need to be protected at all costs. So that's something that's very passionate for me. So when I do have parents coming into it, and I say to them, don't worry, your child can run around if they want to out there. We're all watching, you're a great mom. Your child looks so happy and healthy. It's hard. Yeah, sometimes we get mad at our kids, but don't worry, you're doing a great job. I don't know them from Adam, but I do know that children need to be protected and children need to feel safe. So if I can even give a little bit of that empathy towards their parents, and they see it and they see healthy relationships, because my son is always with me. My son and my husband are always with me when I do these lounges, then hopefully they can see that. So definitely children, as well as older people. So kind of on the other spectrum. So my grandmother passed, she had Alzheimer's, and, we did the walk. My mom said, okay, come on, everybody, we're doing the walk. And it's so fascinating to me how many people in the West Indian community can say, yes, my dad, my mom, my aunt, there are so many instances of it. And again, it's one of those things that we don't talk about. Some people are in denial. Oh, they're just a little forgetful. Oh, no, they're not. They actually have a disease. It's a disease and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in having a sickness. But guess what? Let's work together, not even just to find the cure, but let's work together on living with it and helping our families live with it, and also not judging people because of that, and also not dealing with it, because a lot of people like to, put their head in the sand. So children and old people that have Alzheimer's, those are my two things there.
Those are your two things. Well, when we spoke before, we had said the phrase, you are my people. And you are definitely my people, because those are my two really big things as well. Those are two groups of people that cannot defend themselves.
Yes.
And it really, I would have to use the word hurts me to know that they get hurt.
Yes.
It just comes, it comes as a shock to me always, even though I know it exists. And as you said, whatever we can do to encourage people to provide safe spaces, to let people know that, being upset is a normal part of the process. It's how you deal with it. Exactly. And, hopefully breaking generational,
definitely
trends and shifting someone's life. So I appreciate you sharing that part of yourself with us here. So our beloved audience who comes and joins us every Thursday, let's do a little gem dropping wrap up from Marina. So what did she come to teach us? What did she say to us? Well, number one, like most businesses, necessity is the mother of invention. Look around, see what's needed, and then figure out if you yourself can fill that gap, or if you can collaborate with someone to fill a need that you see. Because I can assure you, if you need it, there are thousands of other people who need it as well. A great one, and it's a question she asked, and maybe this is something you can ask yourself. Is it a hobby or a business? Are you in it to win it? And if you are, you have to open your mouth, because closed mouths don't get fed. You have to speak up. You've got to get out there. You've got to put yourself in front of the nose. And sometimes when people say no, you say, yeah, but. And it's worked for me too. It's been hard and it's been long, but sometimes when you get a no, you go, yeah, but you do need me, and keep going forward. So keep that in mind. You have to speak up. And if you are going for business, treat it as a business. And that means you have to go after all of your opportunities. Planning your business out, planning your events, planning your strategies, not thinking that everything's going to come to you last minute. And sometimes it does. Try to be ready for that as well. But having a calendar, making a plan, especially if you're looking at outdoor events, and being a salesperson. Every single business, it doesn't matter your business. It does not matter what your business is. You are a salesperson. Period. End of story. Learn how to do it. Learn how to do it well, because that's going to be the difference between your success and not. So Marina, was I a good student? Did I
You were amazing. I mean, you get an A+, bravo, all that kind of good stuff. And I sincerely hope that people, they take what we've discussed, but also just in general, business is not easy, but there is a part of it that it does become easy. Like when you see the fruits of your labor, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be rich. And hey, guess what? There's nothing wrong with having money either. Once it happens, then you're like, yes, it made sense. And then you either ride that wave, sell it, or you go on to the, to the next big thing. It's there.
Yes. Be proud of your success and embrace your desires, and it can happen. It definitely can. And I love the way you're working towards something replicable. Sometimes but something that you can repeat. And as you said, once everything balances out with the vending machines, it will become, oh, you'd like one? Okay, we're sending it. And it doesn't become you chasing the machine and wiping it down and refilling it. Exactly. So it is harder at first, everybody. Entrepreneurship is not rated E for everyone. And if it isn't your thing, it isn't your thing. But if you have a dream, if you believe in something, go for it, and go for it full force. Like Marina said, closed mouths don't get fed. Ask the questions, put yourself out there. No is just kind of like a predecessor to yes. It's like an immature, underdeveloped. Yes, it's coming. I like it. It's coming. So Marina, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. We will be looking. Oh, how do we protest? Like, how do we write to people and say, who do we link them to? I come to your event, I want a Bébé Station. How do people get hold of you?
So to get hold of me, you can do my website, which is www.bebestation.com. So BEBE station.com for those of you that did not pay attention to French immersion at school. Also on my Instagram, it's at Bébé Station. The vending machines on Instagram is at Bébé Station Vending Machines. Big mouthful, but it's there. It's my baby, my inspiration. And on Facebook, Bébé Station CA. And what else is there? Twitter, it's at Bébé Station. So pretty much it's at Bébé Station for everything.
At Bébé Station for everything, or Bébé Station Vending Machines.
Yeah.
And thank you. I'm looking out for them when we finally get back outside. I shall make no predictions of when that will be, because we're not going down that. We're just not going to do that. But like Marina said, get ready, be ready so you don't have to get ready. And when everything opens up, believe me, she will be out there, and there'll probably be a lot of masks and sanitizer and other things in the station as well. Because as you can see, Marina is very forward thinking. And thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your vision with us and making it a reality and making so many events so much nicer for so many parents. Thank you, Marina.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, this was truly a pleasure. And again, a big shout out to Banki, who's behind the scenes making it happen, connecting me with these wonderful, amazing, innovative entrepreneurs. And I hope that you are all out there finding your inspiration as well. So until the next time, I am Erica Edwards with Business Takeout, and this is the Soul of Business. Thank you.